Are you ready?
Should we have somebody else start? You want to have?
You want to start the show?
Drewski, you want to kick it off?
I'm down.
Go for it,
dude. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're deciding to listen. This is Drewski here with Heroes at Large. We're gonna do a quick roll call. Everybody here?
Do another intro. I didn't like that one. Try another.
No, you didn't like it.
Yeah, no. A little bit more energy.
Hey guys, it's Drewski here.
Wait. Tone it down just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
I'm Groot.
Uh-huh.
I'm Groot.
No!
I'm Batman.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
It's Heroes at Large, guys. This is Drewski.
I am the knight.
We're going to do a quick roll call. Who do I got here with me?
This badass James.
NEEHIGH.
What the rock is cooking.
AVAZ.
I have sent to you my only son.
And we're going to talk about a few different things today. We got our Captain Marvel spoiler review. And it looks like a couple guys were lucky enough to see the new Shazam movie.
Shazam!
The real Captain Marvel.
The original Captain Marvel.
The first Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
We're going to also try and give you guys a little summary of who Shazam, a.k.a. Captain Marvel, is. For people that really don't know a little bit of the history of Billy Batson.
AVAZ and NEEHIGH were the ones that got to go see an early screening of Shazam. Let's go to NEEHIGH really quick.
Please don't. He has a habit of
can't wait. You know he can't wait. Real quick, NEEHIGH, give it out of a 10. What did you think?
I gave it a 9.5.
That's kind of low.
9.5.
Okay, so did it meet your expectations? Was it exactly what you thought? Was it less than what you thought? There was more than what you thought? No spoilers, please.
It was a great movie. I loved it.
That answered literally every single question he asked.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's it. You're good.
I'm done.
You guys can't.
Come back next week when it's 2 weeks after it gets released. Then I'll.
NEEHIGH's shaking right now, trying to contain himself.
Yes, I'm holding back.
Sweating bullets.
He's like a chihuahua. Always shaking some excitement.
It was a really good movie, right?
Yes, it was.
You agree that it's a family movie?
It's a family movie. Family and superhero movie.
Yeah, I mean, to be kind of blunt, it's a family movie. It kind of reminds me of Gremlins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Goonies. The funny thing is that there is some, I guess you could say, a little scary parts.
Well, yeah, that's when we say it's a dark movie, but it's kind of like Gremlins, like that kind of dark.
Yeah, so if you have kids and you're wondering whether or not they should be able to see it, if you think that they're old enough to see Gremlins, then they're good to see this movie.
Yeah.
Because it was directed by a horror film director. This is only his third movie that he's ever directed. His first movie that he's famous for was...
The Annabelle was...
It was one of the Annabelle... it was one of those spin-offs or something like that. I forget the name of it.
The second part.
But, so he has a bit of a horror background in film. So the really cool thing was it does a good balance. It gives you exactly the amount of, I guess you could say, horror for the villain that we have. It doesn't go overboard and it doesn't pull back. And then for the same time being a family film, it's got the right amount of comedy. There's a lot of really fun jokes. There's a lot of Easter eggs. And to me, I don't know what you think, NEEHIGH, but I thought the acting was really good on the movie.
I mean, this guy was meant to play this role. That's all I could say.
Zachary Levi?
Yeah, that's his role.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I want to say, and I know that I've been watching a lot of other reviews of people that went out to go and see the movie early too. Nobody has said that they disliked this movie. And I honestly, and I know Dynamite's probably going to jump all over me for this, but...
It wasn't me, no.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting this out. I honestly want to say that I haven't seen a movie this good at this kind of level, what I've been wanting from DC since Christopher Reeves original Superman movie. To me, this movie is finally going to bring back the comic book heroes that we have missed. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much all we can say.
Well,
I mean,
my take on this character, just like with Aquaman, is that they're lesser known characters than the DC Trinity. There's a lot of great stories with Aquaman. There's a lot of great stories with Shazam. There's a lot of great stories, period, with a lot of the lesser known characters. And I stick by my guns by saying if DC were to focus and bring the other characters up, I would love to see a Martian Manhunter movie. You know what I mean? But, few people know about him a little bit, not much. I mean, they tried Teen Titans Go. That didn't work out for me. You know what I mean? I think what they should do is probably just focus more on
the B characters.
Even some of the D characters.
Then where do you place Shazam?
Shazam is probably a C character.
Yeah.
Okay. Reason being is because for a while DC's hasn't been able to do anything with him in comic books. They have great stories, but the thing is that with him, he was pretty much bought by DC from Fawcett Comics to put him on the shelf because he was
a power move.
Yeah, because he was a Superman knockoff. But the thing about the knockoff is that for a while he was selling more than Superman comics. So they sued, I believe it was Fawcett Comics.
Yeah,
and the first appearance was Wiz Comics for Shazam because he lives in Fawcett City, which is named after the comic book.
Right.
So they sued. As a matter of fact, they won. But then after that, the comic book company went bankrupt. So DC swooped in and bought a lot of the characters.
That's how they did the Ultimate Universe and they fit him in there.
Right.
I think when it comes down, I think the greatest story I've ever seen Shazam in is Kingdom Come. If you guys haven't read that one, it was Alex Ross did all the artwork for it. But it was based in the future where he's Billy Batson's brainwashed. And he goes toe to toe with Superman. It's one of the greatest fights ever. He's the only mortal that could kill Superman.
Well, mainly because Superman can't fight magic. And that's where Shazam gets all his powers.
His name is the world's mightiest mortal. So
right.
The Shazam one that I read, I don't remember the name, is when he took over the Wizard, and he became the Wizard. So
he had to choose a champion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
So
awesome.
then he ended up.
Freddie
took over being Shazam. He wanted to prove himself that he could be Shazam. I forgot the name of that comic, but that's the last one. No, I mean it was
the Trials of Shazam.
The Trials of Shazam.
Yeah, that one was really good.
That happened. During a transitionary period. Jason Todd had just came back as Red Hood. I think it was right after Infinite Crisis. No, not Crisis on Dose. Crisis on. There's DC does so many crises. Identity Crisis, Infinite Crisis. I think it was Infinite Crisis after.
Right now they're doing Heroes in Crisis.
Shazam comic that came out right after that one. That's when they released the 52 after.
That's after another crisis. That one you're talking about. It was a great story because everything went to hell in a handbasket for DC. Oa was no longer the center of the universe. They got shifted over. They had the Thanagarian War, a whole bunch of stuff. That's when 52, the original 52, so they had a different comic. I think the DC leaped a year into the future, and then they had a comic book called 52, and it was one a week, and they told the story of what happened in that missing year. Batman and Robin are nowhere to be seen. Superman lost his powers. And a whole bunch of other things happened, and the Trials of Shazam, I think, were going on at the same time.
The movie, like I was saying, it's a lot more colorful. It's a lot more childlike. It's a lot more family oriented. I have a strong feeling that this is going to end up giving Superman a run for his money. I understand what you're saying about Shazam, and considering that Shazam is a lower known character that not a lot of people know about, once this movie finally comes out, I got a feeling kids are going to be like,
this is going to be
they're going to be wanting to be Shazam instead of Superman.
Word of mouth movie that people are going to go watch it just to,
Well, I think that's what DC's plan right now because they haven't really been pushing or advertising on Shazam a whole lot compared to Captain Marvel. I mean, you see Captain Marvel every couple of seconds, no matter where you look.
Well, the thing with that is that they're also backed by the almighty Mickey.
Right.
So
Disney dollars.
Yeah, they have a whole mess of Disney dollars. So
make it rain.
What do you think the weakest Marvel movie's been so far?
The weakest?
Yeah.
That's such a good
The
question.
first Captain America.
No. I would say probably the second Thor.
I thought the first Thor was weaker than the second Thor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say one of the first two.
Actually, I'm kind of thinking either second Thor or second Iron Man.
Oh, Iron Man
Probably
3.
a third Iron Man.
Iron Man 3,
was
yeah.
pretty bad too.
The third Iron Man was pretty bad.
But it opens a lot of doors.
Yeah,
on that
you're
movie.
right. Because second Iron Man introduces.
At least we got our Mandarin.
Well, what I'm saying is that like, even their weakest movie is still backed by Disney dollars and made millions.
Right.
Even I think Captain Marvel has a weaker score on Rotten Tomatoes than Shazam right now. Yeah, because they're at a 97.
97.
Something like
Mind
that,
you,
yeah.
again, we are also standing by. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Make
Right.
your own decision. Because Rotten Tomatoes will ruin a movie. Because I know a lot of people that only base it on Rotten Tomatoes and as opposed to their own judgment. Don't do that.
But one of the things that we kind of even talked about before on some of the movies that we really enjoyed but didn't get advertised properly, I think that we always said, why did they show so much in the trailers? You know, they kind of give away the movie. You know, why did they hold back? Why did I wanted to be surprised when I saw the movie.
Yeah, as much as I love Deadpool, the first one,
right?
The majority of the movie was in the trailers.
Yeah.
Another movie notorious for that
That's
was
true.
Terminator. The Terminator Salvation. If you watch the trailer, it revealed that he was a robot before you even actually got to the part. So you knew what the twist was gonna be going in.
Well, and that's what I mean. But my point being is, in this Shazam movie, they didn't do that. They're actually kind of taking. I kind of want to say, like, so a lot of the stuff that we as nerds have been saying about these movies, don't show everything. Let us be surprised.
No,
You
yeah,
know, they've been holding back, and this movie does it, and I think it's actually
and
finally going to work.
The thing is that you have to work harder with a B, C, or D character. Batman, you don't have to work that hard. Superman, you don't have to work that hard. Wonder Woman, you don't have to work that hard because everyone knows their story. But if you want to get a good story and get your point across, you have to make a great story and you have to make it engaging with the audience. And that's what's going on with some of these characters now. They have to work harder for the attention of the crowd. There's enough Shazam for the people that didn't see it, which is 90% of everyone.
Shazam.
Okay, so let's talk about Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
It's already been in theaters for a couple of weeks now. It's at over $900 million it's made so far. If you haven't seen it,
Too bad, we're spoiling it.
we're
going
gonna
to
spoil it for you anyways.
Spoilers.
So, who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about this movie first? Who's got something to say?
I enjoyed the movie. I know NEEHIGH had a...
I enjoyed the movie. I just was kind of disappointed in certain, stuff. And to me, the big thing was the squirrels.
The what?
The squirrels, right?
Squirrels. Yeah, squirrels.
Yeah, squirrels.
The lack of
Squirrels.
squirrels in this movie.
Okay,
AKA
There was like one squirrel.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
killed
but
the
you
squirrel.
should be having Squirrel Girl in this movie.
This guy.
Okay,
Anyways.
well, I didn't like the
You didn't
way-
like how they portrayed the squirrel?
I mean, to me, when I was reading them, there was been like the main villains.
Mhm.
Now they kind of made him. I know they say that there's more out there, but just to bring him as like good.
Yeah, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Because I did not get that either. I mean,
Okay.
I feel the same way as NEEHIGH.
I get it. I mean, from a comic book point of view, the Skrull and Kree are just
Rival.
horrible beings in the universe.
Yeah, that's
They
supposedly,
want
yeah.
war. It's just easier for you to get behind a being that looks more human-esque than it is green with wrinkles on their chin like them.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah. So I didn't have so much an issue. I had an issue at the beginning of that they made them kind of like, no, we're misunderstood. We're trying to be friendly. But then as the story progressed, it's kind of like, look, we are people at war. Not all of us want war. And there's always going to be refugees. And I think they focused on the refugee part of the Skrull in this book as opposed to the warrior part. Look, it's just a guy trying to get his family out. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
So
This particular group,
yes. I don't have a problem with them portraying this particular group as refugees. I was kind of curious to see if they're going to go into a secret invasion angle.
That's what I thought they were gonna do. At least that's what I was.
But we
hoping
don't
they were
know
gonna
yet.
do. True.
Because just because we're introduced in this movie doesn't mean that there's not any bad ones.
Bad scrolls, yeah.
Because I think is there one missing? Was there one missing out of their whole entire group?
I didn't even know how many were they because they were.
I think I saw
Those was a
4.
lot.
I think there was 4.
But I knew on the ship. Obviously, there was more on the ship, but they're only focusing on 3 or 4 that landed on Earth in the movie. So
Yeah, you're right. But then one of them died. One died in the car.
Yeah,
in the car chase.
And then one of them.
The other one was killed by
the other.
By the Kree.
Oh,
right, right.
So, but that doesn't mean that they didn't invade Earth at that point.
Oh, but at the same time, you had a bunch of Skrulls that were hiding out on the ship or whatever that was. So,
is the plural for Skrulls? Is it Skrulls or is it just Skrull in the comic? Is Skrull
and Skrulls?
I heard it was squirrels.
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 All
right.
In Mexico.
Okay, now somebody did bring up a question on social media for us about the Tesseract. The first time we see the Tesseract is in Captain America: First Avenger. At the end of that movie, Howard Stark has the Tesseract.
Yeah, because he finds the Captain's body
right,
frozen
he finds
with it.
Captain America and the Tesseract. But we jump to what would be the next movie, which would be this Captain Marvel movie. Yeah. And now Marvel has the Tesseract on that ship. So
here's my theory on that one. Howard Stark found it again right after First Avenger.
Right.
But they also explain that Pegasus.
Correct.
Was that it? Pegasus?
Project Pegasus.
Project Pegasus, I think, was working with Stark. Because if you watch Captain America Part 2, The Winter Soldier, when they find what's his the guy who was in
right.
Baron Zemo?
Zemo.
Yeah,
Zemo.
The
Baron
robot guy.
Zemo. It was in a Pegasus facility.
Right.
So they had already talked about how he had turned on Hydra and was helping out S.H.I.E.L.D. and all them. So if it wasn't a Pegasus facility, it's most likely that they were working together, and that's how she came up with
Project Pegasus, I believe, is where Marvel was working and building the Lightspeed engine. So that would make sense how she got a hold of the Tesseract.
Yeah, because, I mean, again, if that facility connected to Captain America and, Howard Stark is connected to Captain America, then that's...
Well, and Howard Stark is connected to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
As well.
Right, because he's supposed to be one of the founding fathers of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So, and in this iteration of the universe,
which kind of brings up another point. Now, this is something else that somebody had brought up. When we first see Coulson in, was it Iron Man 2?
The first Iron Man. He wasn't the first Iron Man.
The first Iron Man
from the get-go.
No,
he wasn't
Penny,
the first one.
Oh yeah.
She's asking him how or what company or whatever organization he's from,
and
he keeps saying it all out. Now, if he then didn't know that, S.H.I.E.L.D. will be a better name. Yet Nick Fury's already calling it S.H.I.E.L.D. in Captain Marvel.
Well,
maybe some 15 years earlier.
Here's what you also have to remember about S.H.I.E.L.D. It's supposed to be a secret organization.
Yeah.
So the Strategic Homeland Security, whatever they got.
Coulson, who was riding along with him, didn't know anything about it for 15 years.
No, he knew. But again, you have to remember, it's a covert operation. So it's just like in Hellboy, it's the sanitation department,
right?
But it's demon annihilation department. They just call it sanitation,
right?
So the same thing is going to be the Strategic Homeland Security, all that, whatever the acronym is.
So then what you're saying is when Coulson is talking to somebody else, he's playing dumb.
No, when he's talking in public, here's a good example: the Men in Black.
Right.
They're not called the Men in Black. They always have some other cover story where this is so-and-so from the FBI, whatever the case is, but they're really the Men in Black. Because the Men in Black does not exist.
Right.
At a certain point, after a while, people find out about S.H.I.E.L.D. But if you're throwing out,
acronym.
An acronym is not S.H.I.E.L.D. You're saying an acronym to fit whatever needs you needed to fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, it is S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, according to, I was actually doing a little bit of research. S.H.I.E.L.D. actually has a couple different acronyms, but I think the one you guys are looking at is Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
God, you need a new name for that.
Right.
I guess the original one was Supreme Headquarters, International Espionage and Law Enforcement Division. So it's gone through its own couple changes.
Well, it's not so much the changes. Again, I think it has to do with, like, you're a spy. Like, by the way, my job as a spy, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
You come up with a cover. And I think the Homeland Strategic is the cover for S.H.I.E.L.D.
And that would probably go along with Nick Fury's stories of his eye.
Well, yeah. If I lost my eye in that way, I'd be like, he can neither confirm nor deny that it happened this way, and he's not lying.
Stupid cat.
But to tell you the truth, in the comic books, it's changed a couple ways on how he lost his eye.
Was it ever the cat in the comics?
It wasn't a cat.
Flurkin.
He's a flurkin.
Okay, well, was it ever a flurkin? I thought it was going to eat. If it had eaten his eye, that would have been cooler.
That would have been way cooler.
Yeah, it would have been way cooler. It was like his face is really close to it. Let it just grab his eye with a tentacle or something.
But how did it?
But he doesn't yank out his eye because he still has an eye.
But how is it blind now? And in the movie, it wasn't.
What do you mean?
It was just scratched up. You could still.
It was. They were talking about some infection or something.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Okay.
It was some alien infection or something.
That would have been cool if it would have been more like one of those sweet and sour commercials. So the Flurkin could have like tore his eye out and he would have been all mad at him. And then the cat just gives him the sad eyes. And he's like, oh, I love you
how
too.
Again? Is that really how a cat sounds to you?
Drewski, why don't you give us an opinion? Give us an opinion on what you thought about the movie, because it's still fresher in your mind than it is from ours.
For me, it was a really, really enjoyable movie. I liked it. I liked the message behind it. I liked that it was, no matter how much you get pushed down, stand back up, stand your ground. It had a really good message to it. I think by now I'm spoiled by Marvel adding so many other superheroes and cameos that I was kind of disappointed there weren't very many. But I really did enjoy the camaraderie she had with
Nick Fury,
which was awesome. Because if you watch, and we already announced there's going to be spoilers. If you watch the end credit scene, she comes back in a hurry, and the first words out of her mouth are, "Where's Fury?"
Yeah,
which was not Nick. She calls him Fury because that's what he told her to call him.
Where's Nicky?
No, I know what. No, but it was really cool because they had to build that trust. He had to know she wasn't Skrull. She had to know he wasn't, and they really had to kind of build on that. So it really gave them a good. It made them a good team. I liked the team.
No, I did too.
And she obviously he's not the stronger part. In most teams, the guy's the main head of the team, and the girl or whatever kid is the sidekick. So it was cool that, like I said, they
flipped the script.
He was way out of his league at that.
He was he was new to Shield. He was new to the whole thing. He was the way he jumped out of the car when he finally saw that the Skrull was
an alien.
Was realistic. It was really cool because it had a lot of throwback. It showed you how much of a novice he was at that point.
Just the fact that it changed his views on everything, and even changed the creation of the Avengers Initiative.
Exactly. There's a little bit of everything in it.
It was a good movie, and I'm going to go watch it again, because I know there's a couple times with these superhero movies, you miss a few Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah, big time.
What do you guys thought about the changing on Marvel?
We talked about that last time. It was fine. It wasn't a big issue for me.
We didn't really talk about it because that's a spoiler.
I wasn't ever really familiar with the Captain Marvel character herself, how it's Marvel, how it's Captain Marvel, how it's what was the other? She had another name too,
Miss Marvel.
So I was never really familiar with those. So the way they kind of threw her in, I was like, oh, okay, I'm familiar with the name. It's cool that character's in here.
But you guys read comic books. What did you?
To me, it wasn't
because NEEHIGH's saying that originally the very first Captain Marvel, his name was Marvel,
was a man,
and it was a man. Yeah, so all he's saying
it didn't bother me when Nick Fury wanted to be in black, because Nick Fury originally was white. Until the Ultimates, they changed it to look like Samuel L. Jackson. But that didn't bother me. It didn't really bother me when Kingpin and Daredevil was another.
When he was
but he played a really good Kingpin.
Yeah.
The script was good, and you could bleep that one.
The way he got beat and he started crying, I was sitting there going, "What is this?"
Yeah. So, but but to me, it's kind of like those little changes don't really. What bothered me the most, and as much as I love the movie, is Jack Napier killing Bruce Wayne's parents, because in Tim Burton's version of Batman, because that's not how the story goes.
Right.
Chill.
Yeah. So spoilers, bro.
Yeah. Joe Chill killed Batman's parents.
So, but and that I think that bothered me more because you're not supposed to know who the Joker is,
and the Joker's not supposed to die either. So.
But to me, subtle little changes like that.
No, really. if it's a guy doing a girl role, a girl doing a guy role, back and forth, like you guys said, if a black character playing a white character, vice versa, then it's not going to be a big deal. I just like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool, Marvel.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't even know that's why she was called. What were they calling her? Veers? They were calling her Veers.
Oh well, she had an American name. Or
Danvers.
Like
yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know if that was linked to the comics.
Oh, right.
No, it was the last.
Yeah, it was the last 4 letters of her
last name. Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was in the comics or not. Maybe they're just calling her Veers. Yeah. But I thought it was neat too because it was.
Yeah, no, it made sense. It worked. The only small little detail that it was just her origin story. she had the DNA of a Skrull kind of embedded in hers. That was Mar-Vell's, and that was just a small, tiny, not for me to be like, oh my god, this has ruined the whole movie. I'm walking out of here.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the end credit scenes?
One of them was epic.
Yeah.
I thought that was epic.
Which one, Drewski?
Obviously, the one leading up to into the end game because it showed,
thought you meant the one about the Flurkin.
No,
the Flurkin was pretty legit.
It was cool. It was cool.
I knew that was going to happen.
How they got their hands on it, but then I was like, come on, give me something.
I would have been happy if Nick Fury walked in and like, okay, that's it. But it was
cool that it was like a fur ball, and then
that's awesome because it's kind of like he's gonna walk into his office and like, oh, there it is. What end did it come out of?
But what that did though was make me wonder how powerful are the Flurkin, because that's an Infinity Stone. Yeah, he just kind of held it.
Let me put it to you like this: the Flurkin, that one has pocket universes in its fur.
Okay.
So throughout his whole entire body, he's got small universes.
So it doesn't have to really worry about. It just puts the Tesseract in a universe. And
that's pretty much what it is. Neat. If I remember, he's got the tentacles, but it's also like got pocket universes throughout his body.
Something like that.
So it's powerful enough that like I'm out of this universe, I'm going to go to another one.
That's it.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that about the first one.
Yeah,
that's not explained in the movie. I'm disappointed.
I'm a little disappointed that they changed it to Chewie. I mean,
from Chewie to Goose.
Chewie, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they did that.
Well, no, I mean they own the rights to Star Wars, so they could say it. But the cool part about it is that because she's a fighter pilot, and Top Gun was a fighter pilot movie.
Yeah, I mean, I get the connection, and that's kind of cool. I just don't understand, like, what made them feel like that was a better name than Chewie.
For me, for that particular movie.
Just because of that?
Yeah. If the movie was based in 1980, I mean, in 1980 or 1970, early 80s, early 70s, then Chewie would have worked. But seeing that it was 90s,
so you're saying for the time,
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because it was more of a 90s movie. Yeah, period.
Oh, totally, because they had Blockbuster,
right,
and Radio Shack.
Yeah, which was really cool. I mean, a lot of the 90s
the music
nostalgic
was
type stuff
was
really
great
good
too. So yeah, but overall, I enjoyed the movie. I would go watch it again. Very little drawback to say like, I didn't like this. Not enough for me to be like it's a horrible movie because of it.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
How did you guys feel about the acting? Because I know that's something that a lot of people have kind of been back and forth on. Some people really liked her acting. Some people thought it was terrible. I mean, I don't know if it's more or of social media. Just
I think it's a nitpicking thing.
Yeah, people building on that or whatever.
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of people that have been complaining about it are people that didn't see it. They're going off of what this person said or what that person said. So,
well, I've seen some reviews on it, and some of the people that saw the movie and reviewed it said the same thing, that they really didn't care for her acting. Me personally, I thought she did great considering the kind of character that Carol Danvers is. Because I actually read some of the later storylines for Captain Marvel, because once Marvel started talking about doing these movies and they announced Captain Marvel was coming out, I was like, okay, I got to start reading.
I don't think anyone did horrible acting in that one. I think it was great.
No, I thought
it just.
How about the grammar?
There are times that people need to complain for the sake of complaining.
Right, just to be heard.
Yeah.
Trolling.
Yeah, that happens a lot nowadays. It's kind of like everyone loves it. I'm going to hate it. I'm going to go against the norm. Why?
Drewski, what did you think of the acting in the movie?
I thought it was really good. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson never disappoints. I thought he did a really great job. Brie Larson was awesome. She was a super cool superhero. Even when she wasn't fully aware of her powers, or was her friend that she didn't remember that she knew from years ago. Right. That was really cool.
So you read Ms. Marvel comics before, right?
Yeah.
So that little girl's supposed to be
Lieutenant Trouble? Isn't that what they called her?
Yeah, right? She's supposed to become a Ms. Marvel.
That's awesome.
Another version
that I didn't know.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Because her name was also Mockingbird?
No, Mockingbird was a differw character.
Mockingbird,
that's a different. As a matter of fact, Mockingbird was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show.
Yeah. But she was. How do I say that iteration of Captain Marvel went so many places where she became Mockingbird for a little bit, went back to Ms. Marvel, and somebody took over the mantle of Mockingbird. So it just keeps on going back and forth with that one. But now she's stuck as Captain Marvel, and they even had a Captain Marvel Jr. or something like that. I think it was Mar-Vell's son.
Huh.
But he only made
Mar-Vell's son.
No, how did the little girl know how to operate the little color changing thing on her suit? That was a little far-fetched. Like, it's not a tablet. You can't just touch and go. No, There was like a color pattern and like a whole rainbow and thing. And then she
just a movie.
And then she settled on that, which was, I guess it was cool, but I don't know. There's no reason that little girl should have immediately known how to just choose your colors.
Well, didn't you see her do it first?
Yeah,
like when she was
Or
moving it up and
then
down?
she'd show her how to do it or something like that.
Yeah, but even still, I could watch someone do it.
How did the buttons go?
Technically, she didn't know how to do it. She was just moving her fingers around. Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like about the movie, I didn't like how Nick Fury lost his eye. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It just wasn't.
It wasn't that epic.
No, it wasn't. I wanted because it's built up. All these times you've seen Nick Fury, it's built up. Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna see how he lost his eye. Oh, come on. That was just lackluster completely. It was at the very end, so you're thinking something's awesome gonna happen. Like if like the ship had lost a window and like a shard of glass or something. But
didn't he mention it in Winter Soldier, something about his eye?
Yeah, he talks about it.
The last time I trusted someone, I lost
my eye.
The cat? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like get out of here. Flirkin.
Again, if you were the kind of guy that got your eyeball scratched out by a cat, would you really?
It wasn't a cat, though. I would have been like, yeah, an alien ripped my eye out. Like I would have made it weird. Like,
yeah, no, it's kind of like I'm gonna keep it to myself. And they're like, oh, I heard he lied. Like, yep, that's exactly how it happened. Or then somebody else comes with another story. I'm like, don't tell people exactly how you lost your eye, especially if you lost it in a wimpy way.
Well, the thing is, they didn't ask how he lost it. Nobody asked him, oh, how did you lose your eye, by the way? He kind of said it. He kind of was, like, proud of it. Like, oh, well, the last time I trusted somebody.
No, actually, in Coulson asked him, I heard that you lost your eye fighting one of the...
well, that's the end of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's the end.
Or like, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the time he says it, building up to this whole scene where he gets it scratched up by a stupid freaking cat.
Well, I think some people were, like, upset about it because when he does talk about it in Winter Soldier, he just seems so much cooler in that movie, especially when he
lifts it up. Yeah, you can see
to get back in there, and he gives like a really cool statement or something about it.
Yeah,
like keep both eyes open or something like that. And like everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And then to find out there was some cat that kept scratching him, people were pissed off.
You have Nick Fury, Howling Commando, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., with scars and an eye patch. Wouldn't he lose a little bit of credit like, oh, a kitty did it?
No, listen, that's not my problem. My problem isn't what he told people. My problem is how he lost his eye, because there's all this buildup from all the movies before leading up to this about, whoa, how did he lose his eye? And we finally get to see him. Whoa, he's got both his eyes in the beginning of the movie. And then what happens? It's just it was just lackluster. It's not a matter of what he tells people when it happens. It's a matter of how it actually happens.
Didn't he get sprayed with pepper spray somewhere earlier on in the movie too?
Yeah, and I thought that was going to do it. Maybe
because I first saw that and I was like, oh, here's how he loses his eye. And then it went away.
I know it wasn't that because there was no scratches.
That was sad.
There was no scar.
Yeah, but if it turned out to be like some kind of acid, then it could have scarred his face too.
Not two-faced.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been that far. Could have been.
It would have worked. That's what I thought at first too.
Worked for DC.
It was like a foreshadowing. Oh, hey, something's gonna happen to his eye. In case you didn't know.
I think
that would have been funny if it was a running gag throughout the entire movie.
That's what they tried. I think that's what they tried to do, and they probably realized like this is not gonna work. They just do one and that's it. Because they would have done it all day. Like, oh, watch it, you're gonna poke an eye out or something.
That's what I'm saying. That would have been hilarious.
I think what happened was they finished the movie and they're like, crap. How did he lose his eye? Let's just squeeze it.
What they should have done is he should have gotten a BB gun during Christmas.
Right.
He would have gone to his backyard and shot it, and then everyone told him, like, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
That would have been cool. So what rating do you give the movie?
Me, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I would give it probably like a solid 8. I'm definitely going to buy it once it's on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever.
Right.
It's one for the collection. It was good. It was a great movie. Like I said, I loved it. I thought it was a really great movie.
I'm going to see if they're going to do a director's cut, because some of them have. I have a feeling there's a lot on the cutting room floor of that movie.
It almost feels like it. I mean, there was a couple of because I didn't give it like a perfect score only because of the directing. Because there were certain parts to me where I felt it lacked luster.
There was like the first scene where they're going through her memories. That kind of lacked explanation. I was kind of confused for a minute there too.
But I think that's when you feel like the character did. Like what is going on?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It put you in her shoes really.
The one thing that I personally felt was missing from the movie was that heroic turn point, because most of these origin stories will always have that point where the hero faces dread or doom, and undefeatable odds, and then turns around and becomes heroic, right?
And then what happened when she made the Central Intelligence and defied it, and they unlocked her whole entire power, and
she went Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the really cool part was when she was falling, and she hadn't figured out how to fly yet. You know what I mean? And she's falling. She's about to go splat, and they've got like a close up on her face, and then she finally lights up. Her eyes light up, but we see it for like maybe 2 seconds, and then boom, it cuts away to another scene. And I actually thought that was gonna be it, but I was like, oh, why'd you cut away?
Yeah,
I didn't even get a chance to enjoy. A moment of her.
She did some really cool things when she went Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I almost felt like I kind of got a little cheated because I should be a little longer. I think
she okay because anytime she goes into space, her helmet kind of automatically came on, right?
Her helmet looks dope with the mohawk.
That was cool.
It looked really awesome. So then, why at the very end when they're getting ready to fly to safety, the helmet didn't come on? She's just standing there flying in front of the ship, like, oh hey, it's me, I'm cool. Take a look. And I was like, where's the helmet? She's in space. Where's that? She's still human, I guess, for the most part. But if the helmet automatically does that, how come it didn't? Maybe I'm just nitpicking.
Maybe she just, at that point...
They just wanted to make it look glorious.
Maybe at the time she didn't needed it because she wasn't fully unlocked.
Or there was no danger.
Remember she had a dampener?
The one in her neck?
Yeah.
What did you guys thought about Ronan?
It made sense.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the complaints about that? How he didn't look the same as he does
he didn't. He didn't have like the black tears.
Well, you see it when they put that makeup on him in
the very beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy. Doesn't he take a bath or something like that?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's like his version of war paint,
or maybe that was like a christening or something.
Yeah, because at that point he was still.
At least that's why I took away.
At that point he's still part of the Kree Empire. He was still a soldier. Right. He was still affiliated with this, and at that point he broke off. Like I said, he just went
for Thanos.
Yeah. So for them to say like, oh, okay, well, he wasn't at a point where he needed a war paint.
Yeah, because I mean, it is years before.
I thought he was cool. He looked cool in it.
Yeah,
he had his big ass hammer.
It wasn't one of those things that he was like, he's not wearing the makeup. I gotta walk out.
I don't get it.
Yeah, this is not the movie that I signed up for. I'm leaving.
So, where do you guys think you rate it? Like,
I would give it
like within
8 out of 10 Jeff Goldblums.
What about like where in MCU as far as like all the top movies and stuff like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because there's so many Marvel movies now.
Yeah, there's a lot now, so it's hard to.
Avengers movies. Are really
the only reason why I asked is because this is an origin story, so this has got to be one for the books.
On my 5 top list,
it's not. I don't think so either. Well,
no.
Okay, I think maybe because if you look at most of the Marvel origin stories, it's the superhero getting their powers and fighting someone with the exact same powers. You look at Ant-Man, he fought the exact same person. The Hulk, Abomination, the exact same. It was just really all their origin movies are them fighting themselves. Captain Marvel was cool because she wasn't fighting herself. She was kind of discovering herself and then fighting who she believed was a real bad guy. Right. So it was really cool. It was a cool kind of different origin story. She wasn't just fighting a copy of herself with the same powers and overcoming it. Yeah. So it was. I thought it was better for as far as the origin stories go.
It'd probably be it won't be my top 5, but it'll probably be one of my top 10.
I'm anticipating. I'm
I would probably agree with that on that one.
I feel like they could do. I feel like they could do a lot with the sequel. So the sequel to me is probably going to be big.
Well, a lot of us are thinking that she's probably going to come out looking a lot better in Endgame.
Well, again, it was she's got years of experience now. And she's been out in the universe, so who knows what other knowledge and wisdom she's gotten since then.
I think the Russo brothers are just going to be able to do a lot better with her.
The direction you know what I mean? The director gave on this movie and the director from this other movie.
Well, yeah, this movie had 2 directors. And then it had like 5 or 6 screenwriters or something like that.
Which one?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, they had a lot of hands on this movie.
No, I like the direction that it went. I'm not mad at it. I mean,
I like the way they made it different for an origin movie.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like what I was talking about with our original spoiler-free review. That was the one thing I really liked about the movie. Anything else, NEEHIGH? You got anything to say about the movie?
It's good. Go watch it.
It's not Venom.
Yeah, really, go watch it.
It's not Venom, but all right.
Get out. Go watch it.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, you need to go see it.
And if you haven't seen it, and we're talking about spoilers, come on.
Do you think this is a movie that needs to be watched before Endgame?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably that way you know who this character is
because she's just going to jump in. She
what
was
kind
even
of powers
in the trailer. I like that they waited to put her in the trailer until after the movie was released, so that you kind of know who she is. But even me, when I watched the trailer, I hadn't seen the movie, so I was like, "Who is? Oh yeah, that's Captain Marvel."
Well, I mean, you kind of got a hint of what was coming just for the simple reason with the pager.
Yeah, at the end.
So, I mean, you saw the logo. If you know what the logo looks like, then you're good. So, yeah, I think she's going to be a key character. I think Kevin Feige has said that she is the most powerful being in the
MCU. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, do you think she's even more powerful than Thor?
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that we'll find out.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't flinch in that trailer when he read for Stormbreaker.
But then again, Thor's been fighting for thousands of years. So I think I like one of the reasons I like all these hero collaborations together when they get together.
Catch me outside.
No, one of the reasons I like these superhero collaboration movies is a lot of times you get a superhero versus superhero fight. I don't think that's going to happen in Endgame. There's kind of a main focus on what their goal is, but it would be cool to see her go toe to toe with Thanos.
It'd be interesting to see where she stacks up against the Hulk too.
That's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It'd be interesting to see what she does.
The hammer, or what do they call it? The
Stormbreaker.
It's probably possible because that one's not enchanted. The other Mjolnir was enchanted.
So that was the axe, right, in the trailers?
That was Stormbreaker. But a lot of people were like, how was Groot able to pick up? I'm like, well, that one's not enchanted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The other one was Odin.
You see it in the movie get enchanted by Odin.
Okay, so what are you guys' thoughts on Captain Marvel taking over and becoming, the lead for the Avengers?
That depends on what they do as far as Endgame goes, because she seemed pretty determined at the end of Captain Marvel to help the Skrull. So if her new goal is to lead the Avengers and defend Earth, because maybe that's where she's from, maybe her friend from whatever her time before, maybe her friend got snapped. I mean, you never know what her motivation will be. So it'd be cool to see.
She just looks badass in the teaser.
A good thing that could have happened is that her friend could have just naturally died and the daughter's by herself. I mean, granted, she'll be older. She'll be in her 20s or maybe mid-20s. That's true. But I'm pretty sure she's probably like, well, I'm not going to leave you alone.
Oh, we have no idea where she's been all this time or what she's been doing.
Again, theories are theories, but until the movie, 3 hours and 2 minutes.
That's what they're saying.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So if you guys don't have anything else that we want to talk about as far as Captain Marvel goes, I mean, we all agree it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best, but it still went up there. I mean, I think it holds its own as far as origin movies go.
Big time.
We've got all these different heroes.
Better than some of the Thor movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Better than some of the Thor movies.
Better than some of the Captain Americas.
Okay, guys. So with that, we're pretty much done with this episode. Our next episode, stay tuned because we're going to be doing our Batman 80th anniversary episode. Yep. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff, talking about a lot of Batman stuff. Got some Batman stuff to show off. And
midnight release.
We'll have some interviews, hopefully, from the midnight release of Detective Comics number 1000. Woo. So with that, guys, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Higher.